Just like people.
Hello. Oh, I suppose I should be serious, really. What's the point of being serious in a... I mean, I was going to sort of say something. I will anyway. Trump, IET, is a shit pit, according to him. Shithole, I think it is, or something like that. I've got some news for him. The whole fucking planet is a fucking shithole. In 1998, I realised that cannabis prohibition was a human rights violation, really. It's gone out, and it is a joint. Somebody called Taskin, I think it was the University of California, said that smoking cannabis was less harmful to health than tobacco or alcohol, something that Professor, I think David Nutt, seconded not many years back. And Mr. Brown, the Prime Minister, decided to put it back to class B rather than C. But even C wasn't good enough, really. Back again. And it was then that I realised that actually making cannabis an illegal substance makes those who prohibit it human rights violators, because in 2011 the United Nations said exactly the same thing. It's a human rights violation to carry on prohibiting cannabis, and that makes the people that are banning it human rights violators. Today, now, this second, until they changed their mind and realised that they've been conning the public with this criminalisation of cannabis ever since it was made illegal in 1928. You know, some may think that it was made illegal in 1971, but it was only made illegal in 1971 for doctors to prescribe. So, it was illegal in 1928 to begin with. So that's sort of, you know, not far off, well, it's now at 90 years of them actually violating the human rights of people that want to smoke cannabis and not tobacco. And then after I'd read Jackie Rare as well, and realised the potential of hemp as a resource that can be grown internationally in virtually every single nation on the planet, and used for all of the resources that it can supply, and create all the jobs that those resources, those products would require. But the problem is you could grow that much hemp on the planet that it would be virtually free, because there'd be that much of it. And of course, when it comes to the realisation that hemp is something that takes the shit out of the atmosphere and replaces it with air, fresh, clean air, and if the whole planet was planted with it, that alone would potentially reverse the effects of global warming and turn the planet into a harmonious garden again. A rainforest, if you wish to call it that. It would be an annual rainforest. In some places it would be more than annual. The politicians, I realised as well that the politicians, because they don't utilise hemp to its full potential, are actually holding back the development of humanity. And then I realised something else in 2011 when Occupy was going on. Lots of people think that Occupy was a total waste of time, but for me it wasn't, because it made me realise that the whole shitty system is preventing the development of humanity because of funding. Everything's got to be funded. And the people that provide the funding make the money appear out of thin air, out of nothing. And only God is allowed to do that. Pardon me. Really, isn't it? So is the system God now?